Ideas that scale. Being a part of something bigger than yourself. I feel like standing up here right now, being a part of TED, is something bigger than myself. What does it mean, ideas that scale? How does an idea scale? How do we create them? How do they become bigger than ourselves? We all know what the word idea means. We all have ideas. We live and breathe ideas every day. But it's something that do we ever stop and think about what that actually means? Wikipedia's definition of an idea is whatever is before the mind when one thinks. The capacity to create and understand the meanings of ideas is an essential and defining feature of human beings. That's a pretty strong statement, essential and defining feature of human beings. One idea is great, but one idea that scales is even greater. What does that mean to make an idea scale? Make it greater. Scalability of an idea is the change of an idea in size and complexity. I want to change the way you think about your ideas, or perhaps offer a new perspective or a new way of thinking. I want you to leave here today open to taking one step closer to bringing one of your ideas to life. Because whether it influences one life or millions of lives, it's worth it. Ironically enough, one of the most limiting factors of bringing an idea to life is scale. Actually, it's the fear of scale. Sometimes our ideas are so big, we don't even know what to do with them. They're perhaps outside our specialty or our expertise, and we question ourselves, where do we even start? How do I write this book? How do I create this film? How do I start this business? How do I manufacture this new product? I know it's a cool product, but how do I manufacture it? Size, magnitude, scale, many times these are the things that actually create these limitations, these boundaries in our minds that keep us from moving forward and bringing our ideas to life. I'm in the idea business. I create ideas every single day. Ideas from designing a logo to creating an experience in an environment or for an event. And whether we're designing something such as the Olympics or a project like a Super Bowl, or a project as diverse as naming and creating an identity for a new species of cherries, which is something we actually did. We got to taste the cherries. No matter the size of the project, whether it be a small project or a large-scale project, all of these projects have the same ideation process, the same life cycle to bring these ideas to life. And every idea that we work on, we know must be scalable. We know that ahead of time. All of these projects start with an idea. When we have an idea, either two things can happen. An idea can either come alive, grow, evolve, or it can die. And that decision of an idea actually happens multiple times in the life cycle of bringing an idea to life. And there are many times when we have to let go of those ideas and let them die. First and foremost, to bring an idea to life, you must believe in your idea. You must believe in your idea wholeheartedly, authentically. Believing in your idea is one of the most important components of bringing an idea to life. And it must stay true for the entire life cycle of an idea. If you do not believe in your idea, it will die. Context is a place for an idea to live. Who is your audience? How will they use this idea? Do they need this idea? Do they even know they need this idea? Do they have the tools? Collaboration. The best ideas are those that are layers upon layers, ideas upon ideas. Ideas cannot thrive in isolation. Perhaps ideas are born in isolation. I know a lot of ideas come to me when I'm running or meditating, or perhaps ideas come to you when you're gardening or mowing your lawn or whatever. But ideas cannot thrive there. And many times in this cycle, perhaps they go back and forth between isolation and collaboration. The most successful ideas are those that have multiple ways of thinking. Enthusiasm. Believing in your idea is one thing, but being enthusiastic about your idea is another. Both are essential. Being enthusiastic about your idea will get other people to believe you, and then it will be contagious. And direction. All of our ideas need to be nurtured. They need to be guided. They need direction. Connectivity. It is important for an idea to be part of a community, a network, a support system. Once our idea has all of these components, it actually becomes grounded and connected. And once it becomes grounded and connected, it becomes self-sustaining. If an idea takes a lot of work to keep it alive, to maintain it, it will be too much work to make it thrive. The ultimate goal of an idea is to make it self-sustaining. Once an idea becomes self-sustaining, it actually becomes infinitely scalable. And I think about this life cycle of an idea, the ideation process that we use for our projects, and I realize this process, this cycle, can actually be used for ideas outside of a design project. It can actually be used for our personal lives, ideas in our own lives. When I was 5, I had an idea. My idea was that I would be an artist. I can remember the day. And so throughout my life's journey, I've actually experienced all of these components of the life cycle bringing this to life. And ultimately, I became an artist, a designer. And years ago, I had another idea that came to me. That idea was to take a new job, to leave Los Angeles and move to Salt Lake City to work on the Salt Lake Olympics. I knew by taking that one step, that leap of faith, that I was going to be part of something bigger than myself. I have a passion for the Olympics, and to be a part of that, I had no idea even how much bigger it was. I had no idea how impactful that would be on my life, my experiences, and how much it scaled my life. Since then, I've been able to take that knowledge and experience and create a business with amazing business partners, Molly and Cameron, build a very talented team, work on world-class projects, such as designs for Yankee Stadium, the Sundance Film Festival, and even Super Bowls. As you can see, scale starts small. Even big things start small. I want to take you through the ideation process of a project as enormous as the Super Bowl. Where do you even start? It's so massive. We were hired to do the look and feel for the Super Bowl. And what that means is we create the experience. We create design elements such as street banners, building wraps, the field wall, graphics that get overlaid into the hotels and the various venues throughout the city. And in starting with the concept for the look and feel for a Super Bowl, we start with the core elements. We start with the game of football. We look at the football. We look at the details. We look at the pigskin pattern. We look at the yard lines. We look at the way they're painted on the grass. We look at the end zone pylons, the uniforms, and we dig deeper and we look into the textures of the uniforms. Every Super Bowl is in a different location. Perhaps when it was in Phoenix, actually, we were looking at the texture of the red rock, the hot desert sun. If it was in Miami, we were looking at the palm trees, the ocean, the sand. And then we look at the venue, the place where this game is taking place. Is there a special architectural detail that we can use? What is different about this place? What's the team that plays there now? How is this day going to be different than any other day? And then we look at the elements of the game itself. This is the championship game. The teamwork, the dedication, the Vince Lombardi trophy. And we take all of those seemingly ordinary elements and we connect them. We connect the seemingly unconnected. And we start applying our ideas. Our ideas at this time become physical in the environment. Once our ideas become physical, people get to experience our ideas. They get to live and be around it. People get excited. People are coming here to experience the game. Perhaps they've traveled from all over the world or across the country to be a part of this. For many of them, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And they're capturing this moment, and they're excited, and momentum is building. All of this in the space that we've created. Large-scale graphics. It's being broadcast, shared amongst many. All for this day. And at this time, that original idea of those ordinary elements comes to life. And that idea now has a life of its own. And now that it has a life of its own, it actually has the capacity to scale even bigger. Planning for the Super Bowl, this one-day event, actually is 3 hours. A 3-hour event, right? It takes years. 80,000 plus spectators are there in a seat at the stadium experiencing the game. Other thousands are there throughout the host city in bars and restaurants. Millions of television viewers are experiencing this from their homes at having Super Bowl parties. It's almost like a holiday here. Billions of photos are being taken, shared with friends and family, uploaded to Facebook and shared beyond. Uncountable amounts of merchandise are purchased. Sweatshirts, hats, bags. People want to take a piece of this experience home with them. Media is broadcasting all day. Television, radio, newspaper, internet. People are creating experiences and they're sharing their stories with friends days, weeks, months, years after that one day. It's amazing how that one day can turn into a lifetime. That is a perfect example of how an idea can scale. Starting with a core idea, the core elements, coming to life, becoming self-sustaining, and then scaling beyond, having a life of its own. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this. Ideas are not the property of creative types. Ideas are the property of everyone. They belong to you. By taking one step closer, one ordinary step, you can do extraordinary things in your life. When you leave here today and go outside, take a look at those ordinary things. Look at the ground. Look at the mountains. And if you're thinking and it's before your mind, you'll never know what can happen next. Thank you.